So welcome everyone to our webinar today on how to recognize phishing and avoid phishing threats. I'd like to start us off by reading a part of a testimonial from one of our newest managed IT clients. My practice suffered a breach to our local network and our business banking was accessed and emptied by hackers within a matter of 2.5 hours. This week has been by far the most emotionally stressful of my 22 years running this practice, and it's a terrible thing to be terrified of turning on your own computer. It could have been far more catastrophic to my practice had we not enrolled in having our medical records stored in Medisoft Cloud 2 years ago. I'm able to confidently tell patients and their personal information remains safe and protected. Had it not been, we most likely would have had to close our doors indefinitely. Here we got through COVID only to be brought to our knees by this attack. We are a small, single specialty solo practitioner, but weren't too small to be targeted. So this testimonial really brought to light that nobody is exempt from cyber attacks, and you can really tell through our client's voice how devastating it was for them and what they had to go through. So what would you do if hackers liquidated your bank accounts in a matter of hours? Are you confident that your patient's records are protected in the event of an attack? Is your staff trained on how to recognize phishing calls and emails? So today we're going to show you some examples of those phishing calls and emails and address a very important topic, cybersecurity, and in particular, phishing, which is one aspect of cybersecurity attacks. Over the next 40 minutes or so, we'll dive into some of the most common ransom attacks, and you'll learn a lot of relevant and useful information during the session. We will continue to host monthly training sessions on various cybersecurity topics to help you stay informed, and the session will be recorded and emailed to everyone after today. So I have with me here today, Vlad, who's one of our network engineers at Microwise, and I'll hand it over to him.
All right, thank you, Justina. Good day, everybody. I'm so excited today to introduce our presentation about the phishing attacks. And I hope that after this presentation, we can avoid some phishing threats. So let's start it. So first of all, are you sure that when you get some emails, that these emails actually, for example, you got email from UPS, but are you sure it's actually from UPS or Costco or Best Buy or from any other companies? Actually, companies and individuals are often targeted by cyber criminals via emails designed to look like they came from the legit bank, government agency, or organization. In these emails, the sender asks recipients to click on the link, and that takes them to the page where they will be confirmed personal data, account information, and etc. So let's start it. But first of all, we have some disclaimer that Microwise cannot be held responsible for any information you will be learning today. You're responsible to verify the accuracy for all the material being presented. Microwise cannot be held liable for any loss of revenue and or costs you might incur or any legal issues. Right, and also before we start, I just want to share some information that recently the T-Mobile, the big mobile operator, was hacked, and then previously reported that information from approximately 7.8 million current T-Mobile postpaid customer accounts that included the first and last names, date of birth, social security, driver license ID information was compromised. They have now also determined that phone numbers as well as email and IMSI information, the typical identifier numbers associated with the mobile phone, were also compromised. Additionally, they have since identified another 5.3 million current postpaid customers account that had one or more associated customer names, addresses, date of birth, phone numbers, email, illegally accessed. Their additional accounts did not have any social security or driver license ID information compromised. And probably it's also your, if you're the T-Mobile customer, probably your emails was the compromise. That would be more suspicious if you get any emails from the T-Mobiles. So our agenda today is we will be discuss what is the phishing, how the phishing can damage your business, what are the different types of the phishing, how to spot the phishing emails, what to do if you have fallen for the scam, and the tips and advice. All right. So what are the phishing? This technique is called phishing, and it's the way hackers con you into providing your personal information or account data. Once your info is obtained, hackers create the new user credentials or install some malware, such as backdoors, into your system to steal sensitive data. Phishing is a cyber attack that uses email as a weapon. The goal is to trick the email recipient into the believing that the message is something they want or need, a request from their bank, for instance, or a note from someone in their company, and to click the link or download the attachment. What really distinguishes phishing is the form the message takes. The attackers masquerades as a trusted entity of some kind of often a real or possibly a real person or the company the victim might do business with. And now I will ask Justina to help us to ask you some question, and you can help us to answer. You mute, Justina. Yeah.
Thanks, Vlad. Our first poll question for everyone is, has anyone at your practice ever received a phishing email? Wow. So everyone has received at least a phishing email. So that shows how real this is.
Okay. All right. All right. Thank you, Justina. Let's go. Let's go. Oops. Sure. All right. So how the phishing can damage the business? Just click on the link or download the file. The criminal can steal the sensitive information. 60% of small businesses that suffer an attack close down within 6 months. Loss of money. From every phishing incident that has ever taken place in history, one constant effect is the financial loss. First is the direct loss from transferred funds by employees who were fooled by the hackers. Second is the fines for non-compliance imposed by regulatory bodies like HIPAA compliant. And in the event of serious violation of data protection standards, the fines could go through the roof. Finally, the cost of investigating the breach and compensating the affected customer, which would further compound the company's financial losses. Next one is the damage to reputations. Businesses often try to hide the fact that they have suffered any phishing attacks. The major reason for this is the damage to reputation. Customers often patronize brands they consider to be reliable and trustful. Not only will be disclosure of the breach taint the brand image, but it also will break the established trust. Regaining the customer confidence is not easy feat, and the value of brand is directly related to the customer base. And we have one more question. I think Justina will help us to ask.
So our second poll is, do you know anyone whose business was affected because an employee mistakenly clicked on a link or downloaded a malicious file? So some people are familiar with somebody who was affected and some people aren't yet.
Okay,
Thanks everyone.
Thank you. All right, let's go next. Okay, what are the different types of the phishing? First is the phishing. The hackers send generic emails from a trusted source to any email addresses they can find. Next one is spear phishing or walling at a small scale, highly focused attack, which may mimic the email style of the support organization the criminal is targeting, and they often appear to be the form of the victim's organization too. When attackers try to craft a message to appeal to a specific individual, that calls spear phishing. Phishers identify their targets, sometimes using information on the social social sites like LinkedIn and use spoofed addresses to send email that could possibly looks like they're coming from the co-workers. For instance, the spear phisher might target someone in the finance department and pretend to be the victim's manager requesting a large bank transfer on a short notice. The walling phishing or walling is a form of spear phishing aimed at very big fish like CEOs or other high value targeted. Many of these scams targeted company board members who are considered particularly vulnerable. They have a great deal of authority within the company, but since they aren't full-time employee, they often use the personal email addresses for business-related correspondence, which doesn't have the protection offered by corporate emails. By dropping the malware infected USB in common areas in the hopes that someone will pick up the USB and the plug into the computers. Email from a friend using data from the successful attack, they can start targeting people in their address book, pretending to need information to confirm the victim's identity by luring the victims into the sense of trust. All right. On this slide, I just want to show you the different phishing methods. The first one is like objective number one is like a steal data. You got the attacker send the emails. User open the emails, and for example, you have some user link. You just click this link, and you will open the new website. But actually, for example, you got email from the Bank of America, and they send the link. You click this link, it's open like a website, looks like Bank of America, and it's asking you to log into this page. You put your account information like your username and password, and then you submitted all your credentials to the attackers. Another scenario is you got the email with the file, the attachment. You downloaded this attachment, especially if it's the zip, it is like archived, and you open this attachment file and you just double click and run it, and you got your computer will got some malware, and attacker will compromise your machine, and they will be try to find some vulnerable services, and they will get some more information from your computer. Another scenario, you got the email and the compromised machine via a malicious web link. So you got some link, the website is opening, and some application will start to run on the background. Even you can see this application running on your computer, but it's already running on the background, and the attacker has access to your computers, and they will get all information what they need. All right, just these three types. On these slides, I just want to show you one of the example and how to spot of the phishing email. Just see, you get the email, for example, like from the PayPal, and it's asking you to click the link or log into your account. First of all, what you need to do is you need to check the domain. What does the domain means? It's domain, it's after the @ sign. You see here, for example, if somebody real wants send you some emails from the PayPal, it should be here, the paypal.com. Please always check the sender's email address matches the website addresses. If it's a Bank of America, it will be like boa.com, or if it's the Best Buy, it should be bestbuy.com. Next one, be aware that the emails with the generic introductions like a dear customer, the legit company will never send it to you. They will send you with your name. Also, no matter who think it could be from, always be suspicious of an email that asks you the personal information or login details, like here, just don't click it. Remember, the phisher is the virtual door-to-door con artist and can sometimes be very convincing. Okay, let's go. Here, I will ask help Justina to ask you some question.
So question number 3 is, have you ever clicked a link from an unknown sender?
Because you see there's a lot of things going on here. So there was a payment that was, oh, this is for that top line.
60% of people have and 40% of people haven't. It's not unusual for somebody to click the link because, like Vlad said, these emails are so convincing. They even use the logos of the company. So totally makes sense that somebody can get fooled into thinking that that's really a company that's asking to speak with you.
All right. Yep. Thank you. Let's go to another slide. On this slide, I just want to show the legit company don't request your sensitive information via their emails. Chances that if you receive the unsolicited email from the institution that provide a link or attachment and ask you to provide the sensitive information is scam. Most company will not send you email asking you for the password, credit card information, credit score, or tax number. No, we will send you link from which you send it to the login. Here on this slide, you see they send you some file and some attachments. Just don't click it. All right, let's go to the next slide. And okay, legit company usually call you by your name. Phishing emails typically use generic salutations such as dear valued members, dear account holder, or dear customer. If a company you deal with required information about your account, the email would call you by name and probably direct you to contact them via phone. But some hackers simply avoid the salutation altogether. This is especially common with the advertisement. The phishing email here is an excellent example. Everything is nearly perfect, so how will you spot the potential malicious? It's only way I found it is only to check the domain. Just want to repeat one more time, the domain name, it's after the @ sign. If you go to this website, it's nothing. So if you got from the hotels, it should be like hotels.com or real website domain name. All right. Okay. And let's see. Legit company know how to spell it. Possibly the easiest way to recognize a scammy email is a bad grammar. An email from the legitimate organization should be well written. Little known fact is actually purpose behind bad syntax. Hackers generally aren't as stupid. They prey on the uneducated, believing they to be less observant and thus easiest targets. So here you can see they put some numbers like 17, but it's not right written here. But they use the logo, the same logo like from the Best Buy. But again, if you check here, you will find out this is not from the Best Buy and from different company or hackers. Right. And now here, just because we know the gift, some holidays are coming, and then hackers like to attack with the gift card scam. So here then the example, some of the CEO or some of the doctors got the email that to his send the email to his employee that I need you to purchase some gift cards today at the store to get back to me so I can let you know the type of the gift card and the denomination, something like this. They put the right name here, and this guy got this email and he went to the store and already started to purchase the gift cards. So he didn't check the email here. It's totally different email. They just put a name, but the email is different. So please be aware of this and be ready before the holidays start. All right, let's go.
I don't recommend doing that.
All right.
This is the only time.
So what, next slide, we will discuss what to do if you have fallen on the scam. First of all, but before this one, I'm sorry, I just want to show you one more, my email, which we got recently, our IT department, we got the email that we need to change the password for our Office 365 for our emails. First of all, we have some security, we have some message here. If we got some messages, please outside of our organization, be careful. But first of all, we check the domain. And second, what you can do is just navigate your mouse to the link And you will see here the original URL, http radiourbana10.com. So it's definitely something wrong. And we just deleted this email. But what I wanted to say, so nobody can be protected. Even we try to protect, we deleted all phishing emails, but sometimes we got this email and somebody can click this this link. All right, so let me go back.
Because it is a lot faster than posting all take backs.
All right, so
Yeah, so this would just be in the off chance that for some reason the line still balanced properly, you want this.
okay.
Yeah.
All right, and then let's discuss what to do if you have fallen into the scam. First, change your password immediately. This goes for the all email account password, including the bank accounts. Create a strong, complicated password, including the numbers and symbols. Contact your bank, even if you weren't trying to log into your account at the time. Hackers may have your details. Letting the bank know, protect you further down the line. Install the software upgrades and patches. The latest updates are full up to security protocol. Report it. Speak it to your IT department. All right, and then I will help Justina to ask you one more question.
So is your data being backed up to a secured cloud destination?
Yeah.
Okay, so we have some people who are backing up their data, some aren't sure. We can help you figure it out. Just give us a call after the webinar. It's super important to make sure that your data is backed up in case you are a victim of a cyber attack.
Absolutely.
All right, thank you.
See if you can find it.
And next, tips and advice. Look out for the poor grammar and spelling and email address that doesn't match the domain of the organization. Unexpected attachment, especially zipped attachment. Do not open emails from untrusted sources. Contact a colleague or your IT department if you receive something you're unsure of. When receiving emails from organizations such as a bank, building society, or government, you can reduce the risk of using link by manually entering the URL and accessing the site that way. And we have one more question.
Couple more questions.
Yeah.
Number 5 is, are your employees trained on how to recognize possible phishing?
The insurance code on the remittance is CIG00. If the patient is listed with their insurance as CIG01.
This is so important because like Vlad said, even though you might have an antivirus or like we have a firewall, you can have the best possible security, but a hacker can figure out how to get around it. And if your staff isn't prepared on what to do with it, they can still click that link and all that work can get you in trouble. So to share the results, we do have some people whose employees are trained and some are not trained.
All right,
You
good.
can definitely share this webinar with them to help give them some info.
All right, good, thank you. And another tips is requesting your IT security training. These attacks change from constantly, so keep your business aware of threats or appropriate responses. Only access secure websites. If you're unsure of individual website, look for the bad log and the correct website address in the URL bar. I think we have last question for you.
Last question is, do you have multi-factor authentication configured on your applications, such as your bank accounts and your emails?
Yeah.
Vlad will explain what multi-factor authentication is. It's basically a secondary authentication method using another device.
Right.
Okay, so we're jumping around. Looks like about 3/4 of people do have it implemented and some don't yet. Make sure if your applications do offer it, that you take them up on that and you set it up on your accounts.
Yeah, the multi-factor authentication is very important. It's almost all banks right now provide this feature, so you can configure multi-factor authentication, like send you the text message or install some additional application on your cell phone. And when you log into your bank account, it will ask you to approve it, for example, from your cell phone. It's very important also for the emails, for your main software, if you have something like a QuickBooks or any other applications. Let's go to the next slide. It's the first is monitor software installation. If it asks you to install additional software and services, it's unlikely to be helping you out. Enter a minimal amount of information about you if there is no legal requirement to do so. Does the site you are joining need to know the actual name or your first school or your dummy set or credential do? The chances of your data being used fraudulently is dramatically reduced if it's not real, it's the first place. So remember, be critical of what you see, be vigilant, and be aware about the phishing. And thank you very much. And if you have any questions, please ask. Or we will ask the question after the Amber, right? Just a minute. Oh, okay. Then let me give my colleague Amber will explain this slide.
All right. So here we're going to briefly talk about why we're doing these awareness sessions and what would be the next step. Now, since MicroWise is designed to help medical practices to become independent, it was a must to increase awareness to medical practices when it comes to network and data security, especially that it has been a raised concern recently with the medical practices have been targeted for cybersecurity attacks, especially during the last few months. So it's important before providing the solution is to know where are you standing, which is the reason why annual assessment is part of HIPAA compliance. Now, a complete IT assessment will help you to identify and analyze your IT infrastructure, create a strategic roadmap for your IT systems and people, and will definitely help you to improve security. Now, what we do here is a full IT assessment that will help you to get all of these answers, as well providing you with a report to get a full diagnostic score of what you're having right now and the recommendations of what you need to do. I'll show you a live example of a previous assessment that we have done for clients before. Vlad, can I share the screen?
Yeah, I can stop my share. Sure.
Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, so after doing the assessment, we create the network diagnostic score. The network diagnostic score is where it gives you a brief idea of where are you standing, what you need to do. And we put that into 5 main factors: one for the infrastructure, one for the cybersecurity, compliance score, backup and disaster score, business strategy score. And depending on the assessment, we numeric each and every factor of those, so you can get a full score of how your network performing. Based on that, you will know exactly where are you standing, and you will find that we will provide you even with the recommendations required for you to increase your security and to be completely HIPAA compliant. Now, the good news is that we are offering free IT assessment for our attendees today. So you can simply request your assessment by clicking on the link on the presentation. Let me share that with you. Vlad, can you share the last page? Let me just.
You want me to share
the link on the presentation?
Sure.
Okay, so you can see that the check amount for Aetna is $20.65.
It's like it's not.
Sometimes what will happen, it happens most of the time with Aetna, and I cannot tell you why. But it
Second.
happens with every practice I've ever billed with. The
Right.
amount that Aetna pays for some reason does not come back
Here.
correctly.
Can you see it?
Okay.
The best thing
Yeah.
you can do is
So here's a link to our website. Well, you can find the a link to book your free assessment, IT assessment. If you click on it, you can find a link to my calendar where you can choose the most suitable time for you. Once it's booked, we will give you a call to confirm the IT assessment, and you will find our team working out for you to provide you with the report that you need to know where you're standing and what exactly that you need to do. I'll make sure that you will be receiving this link as well in an email, so you can use it to book your IT assessment whenever you can.
all that you want to do is when you have the Aetna check, you're going to
Thanks, Nick. Thanks, Vlad. So let's open up the floor now for any questions.
$25, and then you're going to come here and you're going to say, okay.
Feel free to raise your hand or just to unmute yourself, or you can also type in the chat. Vlad, I'll ask you a question. Let's say that I run a medical practice and I don't have anything in place right now except maybe backups. What would you recommend is the most important thing that I can do today for my practice?
Yeah, the most important thing is check your emails. If you use the, for example, like Gmail, just gmail.com, it's always better to have your own domain, like a practicename.com domain, and try to use the Office 365, like a business package. It will be included to protect your emails and everything regarding the emails. The second thing I would recommend to install the firewall in your practices, which can protect you to click any suspicious links or download some software or install some applications. So the firewall can protect you on this one. And the third thing I think is also very important, and to provide the training for all your employee regarding the cybersecurity awareness. So everybody should know you can protect you can protect your network, but somebody can click or can do something, and then it could be some problem, cybersecurity issue. Yeah.
Thanks, Vlad. That was a generous answer.
Thank you.
All right, it doesn't look like we have any more questions, so we'll end the session here. And the most important thing that you can take away from today is really to do something. It's great to build on momentum. So thank you for attending the session today and for caring about the cybersecurity for your practice. So whether you look into cloud backups or you look into getting some training for your staff or booking a free IT assessment with us, do something today that can help build on that momentum that you started for yourself. Thanks, everyone. Have a good rest of your day.